This is the 5th production we have premiered together at the Goodman Theater. Over 20 years, a play strikes me simultaneously as a play that I want to do and a play I want to do with Brian. That's how all of them happened, actually. The Iceman Cometh, Death of a Salesman, Touch of the Poet, Huey. They're not like, oh, I'm going to do a play, who am I going to get at? They just come together. And this was a natural extension, I think, of our collaboration. I thought it was a great role for Brian at this point in his career, is to play one of the great roles of Ephraim Cabot, who brings back his young bride, and instantly we're thrown into a triangle.
A woman's got to have a woman.
No, a woman's got to have a home.
Yeah.
And thus the sort of Greek fireworks, because the other thing O'Neill, of course, was trying to do was to create a Greek tragedy using American themes and American subjects.
You better not tell him it's your house.
Eben. I'll tell Eben.
This is a mid-career play. When he began to be very sick, and he announced, strangely, given the fact that he was a Nobel Prize winner, that everything he had done up to now was crap. But of course, he then proceeded to write 4 or 5 of the greatest plays that certainly ever written in this country. He was beginning slowly to sniff and circle around the family theme.
So that there's a new Mobby. Where in hell did you dig her up?
You better turn her in a pan with the other sound.
O'Neill came from a very outspoken family. You can see that in his work. The family values sometimes, a lot of times, are fractured.
Living free! Whoa, 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 whoa! I cussing you!
Suddenly, Paul goes out and marries, and now, if he dies, the farm's hers. And it's essentially, at this point, if he dies, this old bastard dies, we get 2/3 of it. Then we can get the hell out of there. But now, if there's a woman back on the scene.
Up there's a nice bedroom, Ephraim. A nice bed. Is it mine?
It's ours! They've been up to something, maybe.
It does have 2 other remarkable roles in it. From a very early time, I've been a huge fan of Carla Gugino's. She just possessed everything I thought Abby Putnam should be.
But I got to fight for what's due to me out of life if I ever expect to get it. What's interesting about this woman is that she is a survivalist. She is determined to own this farm, to have something that is hers.
Eben is thrown into a very confused state of emotions. So, and just like Abby, he also wants to own something. Part of his need for possession turns into the need to possess his father's new bride.
I had seen Pablo Schreiber do 2 great performances in the past, 2 years.
No, you darned old witch.
And I just went, boy, this is the guy. Eben is a very, very demanding role. If anything, he's sort of the centerpiece of the play in many ways.
The whole screaming at each other. The first thing we've bumped into, I think, is just figuring out how to raise the stakes to a place where it is drama on a grand scale.
I was telling you yet, soon as I be, you'll never be more than half a man.
Let's say we were playing the scene the way O'Neill wrote it, that they're outside, they're on the front porch, they're in front of the yard, and if you yelled at your son and let's get back to work, would he go back in the kitchen, put an apron on, and start preparing supper?
My assumption was, on the basis of the stuff that we've talked about the last week and a half, was that his work had been this work.
We feel that we're wrestling with this master who's sort of challenging us. And they all O'Neill plays have their own unique challenges. This one has its unique challenges.
People who think they know O'Neill and they've seen O'Neill because they've seen Long Day's Journey and they've seen perhaps Iceman Cometh or Moon for the Misbegotten will realize that they haven't. That not only in this production, but in the Emperor Jones production, which is coming, and Harry Ape production, which is coming, they will see something of O'Neill that they may not even have been aware existed.
There's a chance as an audience you might be able to feel almost everything. Really, like the gamut of pure human emotions and all the vulnerability and terror and beauty and love and lust and passion and desire that go along with that.